Ukrainian fighters have attacked a Russian army position located in the forest strip in Kharkiv region. Two tanks of the advancing fighters fired successively at the position of the invaders. Later, infantrymen attacked the trench where Russians were hiding. The Russian soldiers who managed to survive and were hiding in the trench decided to surrender after realizing that they were surrounded and that resistance was pointless. As a result, the position was cleared, and a large number of Russian soldiers were captured.
Ivan Vachenko, a serviceman with the Ukrainian Armed Forces and a national security expert, commented on the possibility of North Korea supplying kamikaze drones to Russia. He shared his insights with Espresso TV. "We need to pay attention to these kamikaze drones reportedly planned for production in North Korea. If this plan is carried out, the drones will most likely be of Chinese origin, routed through Russia to North Korea. Production might then be set up there to create the illusion that North Korea has made significant progress in high technology," Vachenko explained. "At present, North Korea does not possess the technology required to produce modern drones. Yes, they are advancing in nuclear weapons development, but drones are highly technological products that demand substantial investment and their own technology, which, in my opinion, North Korea does not have. To bolster its image, North Korea might claim it can produce not just outdated 1947 to 1953 artillery shells, but also modern drones. This is likely how the situation will unfold. There won't be many drones, as the focus will be on the announcement of their production. It's also unlikely they'll be transported from North Korea, when similar production could easily be established in Russia," Vachenko added. Recall South Korean intelligence reported that North Korea might be preparing to deploy additional troops and provide Russia with more military equipment, including kamikaze drones, to support Moscow in its war against Ukraine. Defense Express writes that North Korea has displayed drones resembling Israel's Harop and Hero 400, along with a unique design, fueling speculation about their potential deployment to Russia. Recent tests by North Korea revealed drones that appear to be imitations of Israeli models, specifically the Harop by Israel Aerospace Industries and the Hero 400 by U-Vision. Defense Express notes that while the images of the drones were blurred, their resemblance to these Israeli systems was clear. The Hero 400, for instance, has a warhead capacity of 8 kilograms, a range exceeding 150 kilometers, and a flight duration of 2 hours. North Korea's version, launched from containers like the Russian Lancet, is likely less advanced due to low-quality components presumed to be of Chinese origin. The Harop, reportedly capable of a 200-kilometer range, 6-hour flight, and carrying a 20-kilogram warhead, has a unique radar-seeking system for targeting radars. However, its North Korean copy appears repurposed for tank strikes, signaling possible differences in design and use. Another North Korean drone with an original X-wing design was seen targeting unarmored vehicles, suggesting limited range and payload. The capabilities of these North Korean drones are likely diminished compared to the originals, Defense Express noted, citing the potential use of subpar components. Beyond technical performance, the scale of drone supplies from North Korea to Russia remains unclear. Reliable data on North Korea's military-industrial production is scarce, leaving questions about their ability to sustain significant exports unanswered. Ukrainian volunteer engineers are creating a new Trembita missile that will be capable of reaching the Russian capital, Moscow. The development is already at the final testing stage and mass production is planned to begin shortly. The trembita is a type of an alpine horn made of wood. It is a Ukrainian folk music instrument common among Ukrainian Highlanders, Hutsuls, who live in the west of Ukraine. The Economist said this. The trembita is a modern cruise missile that uses a remake of the Pulse jet engine first used on the German V-1 bomb in 1944. The basic model of the missile can cover a distance of 200 kilometers at a speed of 400 kilometers an hour, but engineers are now working on an improved version capable of reaching Moscow. It is uncertain how long Ukraine can count on massive foreign military aid. Hence, the trembita, which is one of several missile projects the country hopes will ignite a resurgence in its domestic industry, The Economist reported. The missile is being developed focusing on low cost and high mobility. As a result, the trembita will be able to effectively deplete adversary air defenses. A single missile with a 20 to 30 kilogram warhead costs only $15,000 and $3,000 for a decoy version. But Ukraine still needs time, which may be scarce. A senior security official says the country is at least a year away from producing missiles in the numbers, range and capabilities that would seriously threaten Russia, The Economist said. The development of trembita comes in response to Ukraine's limited ability to use foreign long-range missiles. Most strikes are concentrated near the front line, allowing Russian troops to feel relatively safe. The trembita is designed to change this situation by providing a cheap and effective solution to hit strategic targets in Russia's rear. In May 2023, engineers from the volunteer design bureau PARS and volunteers from the NGO Vidzik were reportedly developing a trembita combat missile with a range of 140 kilometers. The volunteers want to launch the production of individual parts and components of the missile in garage workshops throughout Ukraine. After the fall of the Assad regime, the Kremlin became very concerned about its S-400 systems, which could fall into the hands of the new government. Even after December the 8th, Moscow began an urgent evacuation of its S-300 and S-400 systems, Forbes reports. The withdrawal of these installations from Syria marked the end of an era in which the Kremlin played a major role in Syria's disputed airspace. Journalists from the Wall Street Journal report that the Kremlin has delivered all of its S-300 and S-400 systems from Syria to eastern Libya via cargo planes. Since December the 8th, maintaining these installations on Syrian territory no longer meets the Kremlin's strategic interests. Russian allied warlord Khalifa Haftar would doubtlessly welcome the deployment of these strategic air defense systems as a counterbalance against his Turkish-backed rival, the UN-recognized government in Tripoli, which unsurprisingly opposes Russia reinforcing its bases in the divided country. Haftar fought that government in 2019 to 2020 when his forces besieged and tried to seize the capital, only to be routed by a counter-offensive supported by Turkish drones. The conflict has remained stalemated ever since. Rumors abound in 2020 that Russia deployed S-400s or S-300s to eastern Libya, which, as noted at the time, could have helped solidify that stalemate. Haftar has long been obsessed with having Russian air defenses deployed in the areas he controls to avoid a repeat of that year's humiliating rout. Retaining S-400s in Syria no longer serves Russia's strategic interests since the systems became more exposed following the takeover of the country, including Latakia, by anti-Assad armed groups. The removal of S-400 missile defense systems from their positions at the Khmeimim air base appears to be the first clear sign that preparations are underway for the base's full evacuation, wrote analyst Anton Mardasov in AI Monitor. However, by December the 8th, the continued presence of these expensive systems had already become irrelevant when the opposition forces entered the town of Jableh, from where they could effectively shell the entire base. Russia first relocated its Su aircraft to the Khmeimim air base in Syria in 2015. Sometime later, the first S-400 missile systems appeared at the same airbase to strengthen Russia's presence in the skies, back in 2017. Military writer Tom Cooper stated that the Alawite Mountains are located near Khmeimim, which severely limit the radar's operations.